Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at Just Keep Swimming _podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr. 1-3, dropping hot beats for the city as always. So please make sure you guys keep up with his latest projects. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to have a serious conversation with you guys, and I'm gonna call this right here, you don't know other stories. So, as we know, life is crazy and everybody is going through something that we may not be aware of, And one thing that we always need to focus on is to always treat everybody with respect, because we really don't know what people are going through. The other day at one of my schools, there was an incident where a student got hit by a car while walking home, and that incident caused a student to lose their life. Other students saw it, and it was just a really sad thing that happened. But I was unaware of what happened, So the day I came to school, I kind of felt like the energy was a little weird. I wasn't understanding it, but I was like, let me just come in here and do my job. So I went to go find one student to see if they had their field trip packet. And when I found him, he was in the classroom with his cousins, but they weren't really in the class. They were kind of like huddled up in the corner somewhere, just talking with each other. So, I kind of went over there, said what's up to him, asked if he had his paperwork. And then I saw his girl cousin sitting there, and she has looked really sad. And I was like, hey, are you okay? And he kind of like looked at me. He was like, no, mister, don't ask right now. And I was like, what happened? So then he actually pulled me to the side and said that yesterday, one of her friends got hit by a car. It was like her best friend, and she's just really down right now. And I was like, oh my goodness, I did not know about this. So I kind of just walked back in the room, gave her a hug, let her know if you need anything, I'm here. You're always welcome to come to my room if you need some air or some space away from all this craziness that school has to offer. I'll make sure your abscess gets approved or whatever needs to happen. But, I'm here for you. I can be a safe place for you if you need that. And it kind of just goes to show you that you never know what other people have going on, because at the end of the day, this student was still at school. She was still, trying to go to classes, but was just struggling, and I can only imagine the energy that she may have felt when a teacher was probably getting on her head because she has her head down or has her headphones in or just not engaged at all, and I can only imagine, how teachers can be. Some of them, they're just over it, and, they deal with so many kids, they don't have time to worry about one person's issues. So I can imagine how the teacher is probably being mean to this student, saying, well, you need to talk, or you need to speak up. And it's like, whoa, calm down. First, let's figure out, is this student okay? Is everything okay? And that's one thing that I always start off with when it comes to anything with life. Let's always respect others first. And I think that right there is something that we all need to really think about before we go into any interaction, you know. Like, one thing I like to do before I even talk to any students about anything, college-wise, life-wise, whatever I call in the room for, the first thing I ask them is, how you doing today? You good? Everything well? You know, because I want to make sure that they're doing okay, because the last thing I want to do is just have them start to, oh yeah, go ahead and do this college application, when they may have a mindset that, oh, mister, I can't go to college now because my mother just passed away, or, you know, my pops just lost his job, or, you know, something happened with the family that's going to prevent me now to actually going on this path, you know. But it's like, I can't truly understand what's going on if I first don't ask. And a lot of people, you know, they're scared to share. They don't want to share what's going on. They don't want to open up. They rather keep stuff to themselves. You know, like, you ever see somebody walking through the grocery store? Shoot, I'm like that sometimes, where I'm walking through the store and I'm usually one to always hold the door open for people, or to always say, hey, how you doing? Good morning. You know, just having a little small talk conversation, because I understand the value of somebody asking you, how are you doing? You know, just the respect of just talking and being a human. But there are times where I don't feel like talking. You know, I don't feel like saying nothing. I'm going and I'm having my own battle in my head. And that's when I realized that, one, I'm more irritable. Two, I don't pay attention to stuff. Like the other day, I was walking out the store and there was a lady walking into the store, clearly like 5 steps away. And usually I would hold the door open for her, but for some odd reason, I was so zoned out that I didn't even think about, you know, grabbing the door and holding the door open for her as she walked into the store. And it could have been, you know, like, luckily the lady wasn't an a-hole, but she could have been an asshole and be like, excuse me, why didn't you hold the door open for me? Where people usually aren't that way, but you never know. Like, somebody could give a bad response at the wrong time, and that could have made me snap. You know what I'm saying? That could make me lose my mind and call her out her name, or act a way that's outside my character, you know. And I see that all the time. Like, I always think about, you know, sadly, when there's fights at schools, sometimes the fight happens because you just mess with the wrong person at the wrong time on the wrong day, you know. And it's like, you probably joke with this person all the time, but today is not the day to joke with this person, because they can't understand the difference between a joke or are you serious right now because of what's going on in their life, you know. And it's like, we always need to stop and ask that respect first, you know. Like, if I reach out to 1-3 to talk about a podcast episode, my first question for him is how you doing, bro? You good? You straight? You know, where's your mind at right now? Because if I don't know where your mind is, you know, I can't really present what I need to present in a proper way, you know. Or maybe I don't need to present what I'm presenting right now, and I need to pause on what I need and focus on helping you out in this time and moment, because what I need may not be that serious at all, you know. I had that happen with a counselor the other day, actually. I went to go talk to her about some students, but she was stressed out because she was literally leaving early that day to go on vacation, but her flights had got canceled, and now she had to come up with a new change of plans. And it was to the point where I didn't even ask about this situation. Like, she, you know, after she got done rambling, she was like, what'd you need? I was like, oh, don't worry about that. We can worry about it on Monday. You know, let's get your vacation together first, because I know you have something planned. You have some things trying to do right now, and stuff is just falling apart, and you probably really need to focus on what's happening so you can make sure your plans still happen, you know. What I need right now is not important. It can wait until Monday. I'll see you on Monday. We can go from there, you know. But you have to start off with that sense of respect, because if we don't start off with that sense of respect, it is so hard to really connect with people the way we want to connect with people. So, you know, let's go over 3 talking points I want to talk about today. First point, just like we talked about, we don't know what people are going through. Everybody has a hidden story. You know, you have anxiety, you have worries, you have family issues, work issues, life issues, body issues, health issues. Who knows what can be going on in your life right now? And my first step is always to come out and make sure that you're doing good before we even have the conversation that we're about to have. Whether it's going to be talking about something really important or something irrelevant, I need to know where your mindset is before I present something, because that's going to direct me on how to move correctly. And I think that is very important, because one thing that irritates me the most out of anything is when people reach out to me and ask for something before they even ask me how I'm doing. before they even check up on me, say, hey, you good, you straight, your mind in the right place. I hate when people just reach out and say, hey, can you send me $20? And it's like, bro, you don't know what my money situation is right now. You don't know what I'm going through right now. For all you know, this is my last $20 I'm sitting on, and for you just and I'm probably stressed about it, and then for you to just out of nowhere ask for it without even checking in with me could really piss me off even more, and it could probably make me react in a way that I don't want to react towards you. So that's something that I really want people to focus on, is that we don't know other people's stories. The gas clerk, the person driving the bus, the person in the car next to you, we don't know their stories or what's going on, and you never know what disrespect can really cause this person to do, because some people, disrespect is the ultimate F you in their face, and they snap when they get disrespected. The other day, driving on the Las Vegas freeway, I know there was a major issue of road rage. So there was two people in the car. Oh, let me fix that. Sorry. There were two cars driving, and I guess one car cut off another car, and that led to the other car cutting the back off. And, it led to road rage. And one of the drivers, as driving, he just pulled out a gun and started shooting at the other car, which led the other car to end up stopping. And then they get out the street and they're fighting in the middle of the street. And, all this craziness is happening. But during all this fight, nobody realized that there was a little boy in the back seat, and that little boy had caught a stray bullet and passed away on the freeway because this road rage issue that could have been avoided just if we were respected each other and respect the other driver, because you never know, that one driver that got cut off, that could have been his last straw. He could got pushed around at work, have an issue at home, had a fight with his wife before he left the house, and out of nowhere, this car cutting him off and flicking him off and beeping at him just made him snap, and now he is about to be in jail for who knows how long because of a small sense of disrespect that happened on the road that could have easily been avoided, that could have been looked past, that could have been just ignored, honestly. You know how many times people cut me off and I just say whatever, because at the end of the day, I don't know what this person is going through. This person is probably driving this fast for a reason. Like the other day there was a car accident that happened right in front of me, actually, and it was kind of interesting because the lady just ran the light, she ran the hell out that light, didn't even try not to run it. She just ran in and turned, and another car hit her. And I was just thinking in the back of my mind, what in the world is going on with this lady right now that she did not pay attention to this red light? 'Cause this light's been red. Other cars are already going. Traffic was already flowing, and she just said, F it, and I'm gonna make this turn, But it's who knows what's happening? For all she knows, she got a phone call that something was happening. You got to get here now. Somebody could have just passed away, and she was trying to get to the family. Who knows what could have happened? But, her being distracted and not being focused and, just trying to be in a rush in her own zone, her own world, caused a car accident to happen because she's not paying attention. And think about what could have happened after that. The person could get out the car and start cussing them out. What is wrong with you? You should have saw the light is red, blah, 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 blah. And that could have led to a fight. That could have led to even worse scene than what just happened, But the cars, they pulled over, and you actually saw the guy get out the car and look at her hey, are you okay? Is everything all right with you? You've seen the other way around. I'm sure you see people get in car accidents and their first instinct is to get out and fight the other person. But it's you don't know what this person is going through, you guys. So let's not be that person. Let's always treat other people with respect first, Second thing, respect doesn't cost anything. Respect costs $0.99, $0. You don't have to pay for respect. You're not losing anything giving somebody respect, asking somebody how they're doing. Are you okay? Holding the door for them, saying thank you, saying how can I help you, assist you. You're not losing anything. If you do lose anything, it's probably a little smidget of time, but you never know what that little respect could have done for that person, Like the other day, I had what happened? I was leaving school. Actually, that's what happened. As I was leaving school, the day after I found out what happened with the kids, there was a guy walking out of school, and he kind of just stopped and said, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? I'm doing good. How about you? And then he kind of just broke out. It's man, this child getting hit just really just blew my mind right now. And I just kind of felt like his heart was so heavy and he just needed to share something. So I kind of just stopped what I was doing and I just sat back and listened. And, I just shook my head and listened and said, I understand. And I see where you're coming from, and just learned a little bit about him and a little bit about where he's coming from. And it's like, who knows how much I probably just helped this man by stopping and listening, by stopping and saying, you know what, let me hear what this guy has to say. I had another incident with a student where, I called the student out of class to come do their college application and stuff. And then the student kind of just walked in you just felt the energy was off. So before we even did anything, before I said pull out your laptop or anything, I said, hey, how you doing? Everything okay? And it turned out everything wasn't okay. And the student was having an issue at home, but it seems like because the student is a really quiet student, like she barely talks, she always has her hair covered in her face, like you can tell she always has her head down or whatever, and she can tell she always just keeps to herself. So I'm sure other teachers probably saw her and didn't say nothing because they're like, oh, that's just her being her. But something told me, let me stop and ask. So she was like, it's not okay, can I write something? So she ended up writing me like a 2-page letter talking about how family issues is terrible and her stepdad is trying to, rape her, kick her out the house, who knows what's going on in their family. And it was like, I don't think nobody has even stopped to ask the student, hey, are you doing okay today? Is everything all right? Because if they did, they probably would have heard what I heard, but me stopping and always checking up on the student, always making sure she good. Anytime I walk through the hallway, I just say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Stuff like that. I think it really built that rapport for the student to be able to come and open up to me and share what they actually shared. They probably didn't feel comfortable doing that with anybody else. But because I'm one to always show her respect and always show her that I'm on your side and I'm trying to help you out in the best way, shape, and can I can. Like, yes, if something can't happen, I'll let you know it's impossible. We can't make that happen. Your GPA is too low, but let's not stress off of that. Let's focus on the future, not the past. And, always just treated her like the human that she needs to be treated as, treated her like the young princess that she is. And she was able to come out and open up to me. And you know what? Now she's actually at college now. She's actually was able to get her own dorm and things worked out for her in a great way. But I kind of feel that she probably could never got that far if somebody would never stopped and said, you can do it still, like you still can get through this. I'm gonna give you respect first and foremost. And that respect really just goes so far, so far, So also giving that respect, like I said, it can make you a safe place for other people that feel like they can't share stuff with other people, Like one thing about my dorm room, or not my dorm room, my portable, or both my portable and my classroom, I always make sure that it's a safe place for students. You can come in here, you can vent, you can talk about whatever you need to talk about, ask me whatever you need to ask me. I'm gonna tell you what's real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, but at the same time, sometimes you don't want to come in and say nothing. Sometimes you just need a space to get out of the school for a moment, and you gonna come and hang out my portable. I got no problem with it. I'm gonna ask you if you okay, and maybe you're like, yeah, I'm just a lot of my mind. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to talk about it, I'm here. If not, I understand. I respect your option to be silent, because some people be like, well, if something wrong, you have to tell me. No, they don't have to tell me nothing if they don't want to tell me. Sometimes they just needed somewhere to come and breathe and just get a little safe space, and I feel the same way with family sometimes. Like sometimes my family comes over and we hang out, and I feel like, we probably should be having more conversation, but maybe you just needed a spot to get out. Like, how many times my brother came over and we hung out for a little bit, had great conversation, and then next thing I know, he on the couch sleep. And I'm like, let this man sleep, yo. He tired. He had a long day. Who knows what he's going through on the back end? Maybe he just needs a place where he can come, take a nap without feeling judged, without feeling like somebody's about to poke him, say, what you doing, sleep? You need to wake up, or, whatever it is that is making him stressed. He just needs that safe place, So that's something I always try to offer people. It's a safe place, You can share what you need to share with me, say what you need to say. But from there, we're going to, I'm not here to share that with the world and let everybody know your issues or nothing like that. If it's between me and you, it's between me and you, because I respect your privacy. I respect your sense to not share it with the world and keep it between us, So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that resonated with you guys today. I kind of say all this just to say, please respect others, check in on others, make sure people are doing good before you go out there and start to ask for requests or start to, serve and please yourself. Make sure the other person is good, because we never know what mindsets of people are going through, what's heavy on somebody's heart, what happened in their life that has them resentful, quiet, standoffish, being a loner, or whatever it is, So let's always try to give that respect to others no matter what, and let's just be a good, respectful person, and let's treat others the way we want to be treated, because at the end of the day, how good does it feel when somebody randomly asks you how you're doing, or wants to hear about your issues, or wants to share, wants to try to help you out with something that you're going through that you thought others wouldn't help, but this person decides to help, and that just means the world for people, So, ladies and gentlemen, I pray that resonated with you today. If you guys do have something you want to share on top of this topic, you already know, reach out to us. You can reach out to us on IG, on Facebook, over email, TikTok, wherever you find us at. Just reach out to us, and we'd love to hear what you have to say, share your opinion, even give you a shout out on the podcast. But with all that being said, we hope you guys have a great day, a marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming.